Please note down this particular points. So it is also one important question in the sense of your university exam. So it will ask number of time. The previous question, it was asked in number of time in previous question papers. So difference between production planning and production control. Please note down everyone. Shall we move ahead to the next point? Have you finished? Okay, next point. Or you required more time to note down the points. Right? Have you finished?
Yes, sir.
So we'll move ahead to the next point. Next point is objectives of PPCs. So you can correlate these particular objectives with the need of PPC. Okay. So the systematic planning of production activities to achieve the highest efficiency in production of goods and or services. Okay. So the planning is required. First initial stage is nothing but planning. To start any production, the planning is the first priority. Okay, and once the planning is done, then one can start the production activity. So the planning should be a systematic manner. Okay, so that there will not be any loopholes in the planning. Okay, so the systematic planning of production activity to achieve the highest efficiency. Now, efficiency is nothing but what? the the ratio of output divided by input, that is nothing but efficiency. So here the output is nothing but the finished goods, okay, and input is nothing but the resources. So resources like manpower, materials, machines, and manufacturing process, these are the, one can say that the resources for that particular production. So the ultimate goal of a production, this particular production planning and control, is nothing but to increase the efficiency of that particular department or that particular plant, okay, or the production activities. Uh, Then next is to organize the production facilities like machine, men, etc. to achieve stated production objective with respect to quantity, quality, time, and cost. So in the need also, we have discussed this particular point to achieve the production objective with respect to quality, quantity, cost, and uh, timely delivery of the product. The production planning and control plays very important role. So this is the objective of a PPC. Okay, that to organize the production facilities in such a manner that that particular department or the production activities will achieve their objectives. Okay, or production department will achieve that particular objectives. That is nothing but quantity, quality, time, and cost. Okay, then optimum scheduling of resources. Okay, optimum scheduling means what? Scheduling means what? Providing the load to the machine, to the worker, and consuming the resources in, for that particular machines and for that particular machine. So, optimum scheduling is what? Appropriate load should be distributed to each and every machine and each and every worker. Okay, so that that will provide the highest efficiency. Okay, so optimum scheduling of resources is the objective of a production planning and control. Then next is nothing but coordinate with other department relating to the production to achieve regular, balanced, and uninterrupted production. Now, other department is nothing but what? Which departments are supporting to production department? Anybody? Which are the supportive departments? One can say supportive departments for the production department. Okay, you can unmute and you can answer, or you can mention in chat box also. Okay, which are the supportive departments for the production department? Design department. Okay. Next, quality control. Okay. Raw material. Raw material for that one department, that is nothing but store department is there. Okay. Store department is there. So under store department, procurement will happen. Or procurement is always happening. That is nothing but what? Purchasing of equipments, purchasing of tools, purchasing of raw material required for the production purpose. Okay, then manufacturing. Okay, inventory, manufacturing, marketing. Okay, so you have mentioned sufficient departments. Okay, so there are also much more departments. We can say that human resource is one kind of a department which will support the production department because manpower requirement will be fulfilled by the this department. Then finance department is also there, which directly indirectly support the production department. Then quality department is also there. Then sales department is there, or we can say that marketing department is there. Okay. Then product development department is also there, which helps to production department. So these are the supportive departments which will run simultaneously with the production department. And is there a problem? If is there any problem related to the design of any product or the design of the we have designed appropriately, if design department have designed the product appropriately, but there is some problems for the manufacturing. Okay, there is some problem related to the manufacturing, then it will goes to the design department once again, and that department will support related to that particular problem. Okay, so in this manner this coordination will be done uh, to uh, to regulate this particular production uninterruptedly. Okay, then to confirm the delivery commitment. Okay, most important thing that we have committed for something and we are not following that particular commitment, then that will decrease your valuation in the market. Okay, so that thing decrease your valuation or reputation in the market, and it will affect lot for that particular industries. Okay, so those industries are supplying some products for the higher industries, or what can say that some industries are the vendor for big industries like we can say that Endurance is the vendor of Bajaj. Then such like industries, we can say that these industries are supplying the products to the Bajaj company. So Endurance is supplying the product to the Bajaj company. So uh, if that particular Endurance company will not follow the commitment, then there is a problem for Bajaj company to run the assembly line uninterruptedly. Okay, or there is a stoppage of the assembly line. So it will affect the uh, performance of uh, the main company, or we can say that the company which is supplying material to the another company. So it will problematic to sustain the relationship if you are not following the commitment of deliveries. Okay, so this production planning and controlling will ultimately help to confirm to delivery commitment. Okay, then material planning and control. Uh, Actually, we have discussed that optimum utilization of resources is the most important part to increase the productivity. So that for that purpose, the planning should be in such manner that it should reduce the material requirement, okay? Or it will consume, or the process should be selected in a such manner that the material consumption or material consumption should be in a less manner, okay, so that your output will get increased, or we can say that your input consumption will be less. So here planning is material planning is most important. So in that case also the controlling over the material planning should be there. So this will be assured by the production planning and to be able to make adjustment due to change in demand and rush order. Okay, so sometimes there is a rush for the demand for the production department. So in that case, need to adjust uh, the inputs like manpower, like material requirement, raw material requirement, tool requirement. So these inputs need to adjust accordingly, or there if one cannot satisfy that particular requirements of customers in a peak scheduling, in that case the orders will be we can say that it will be postponed. So this can be done by production planning control in a rush time to postpone the orders, or in a low time reduce the production rate. So it will be adjusted in the planning case. Okay, it will be adjusted in short-term planning case. Okay, so to be able to make adjustment due to change in demand and rush orders. So this is one kind of objective for the production planning and production planning. Getting everyone? Objectives of PPC. Problem? Any question? Please note down the points. Objectives of PPC. Is there any question? Shall we move ahead to the next slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 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 Please note down the points, objectives of PPC from the second slide. Or shall we move ahead to the next point? Shall we move ahead to the next point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So next point is functions of production planning and control. Functions of PPC. Okay. So here you can see one diagram related to the function of production planning. Okay. So here we can say that this particular function can be classified in three categories. Okay. So this particular functions of PPC can be classified in three categories. First one is pre-planning. Okay. First category is pre-planning. Second one is planning, and third one is control. Okay, which are three categories for the functions. So this will be the functional category of a PPC: pre-planning, planning, and control. Okay, so pre-planning here you can see that it is mentioned under the pre-planning as a macro level. Okay, so macro level means what? If you say sense of any product, okay, atom of any element or any subject will be considered as a micro level. Okay, micro level, very small level. Okay, and the bigger picture of that particular atom is nothing but that particular subject that will be considered as a macro level. Okay, that particular object or that particular substance will be considered as a macro level. Okay, MACR, macro level. Okay, so macro level is nothing but it will show a bigger picture. Okay, it will show a bigger picture. And micro is what? It is a smallest part of that particular substance or that particular thing. Okay, that is nothing but micro level. So pre-planning is a macro level planning. Pre-planning is a macro level planning. So this particular planning is, one can say that it will describe uh, very high level of project, or we can say that it is a very short description of any project, just hitting the important highlights of that particular project. Okay, so that is nothing but pre-plan. So this particular macro level planning deals with analysis based on forecast. Okay, this will deals with analysis based on forecasting, or we can say that market analysis, then production design and development also included. So planning related to this particular point, that is the from forecasted demand, we come to know that the quantity of the production. Okay, so quantity, then the product design. So what will be the product? Our product will be, what will be the product in future? So that is nothing but product design and development. So these all parts will come under the macro level planning, or we consider the pre-planning. So this particular pre-planning stage is also concerned about process design. Okay, so process design means what? So if you consider that it's new product is launched in the company, okay, so that for that particular product, if any new machinery required, okay, then new process required to produce that particular component, or any machine we have to replace so that we can adapt the new technology. Okay? So that will also come under the pre-plan. That is nothing but the process design. Okay, process design is adapting new process or developing new process or purchasing new equipment, new technology, or replacing old technology with the new technology. Okay, then we also consider the workflow. Okay, so workflow or the flow design. So that is what the plant layout. Okay, how the product will flow in the plant, or how the raw material will flow in the plant. So that is nothing but the flow design or the plant layout. Okay, so here we can say that if you are producing your production type is a continuous production. Okay, so in that case, what will be the layout? Okay, then if you are producing multiple variety of products, then in that case, what will be the layout of your company? Okay, if your company can only assemble the product, then in that case, what will be the layout of your company? Then if your company is only machining the components, in that case, what will be the layout of the company? Okay, so that layout is nothing but prefixing the machines according to the processes, okay, according to the manufacturing processes. And that is nothing but the layout. Okay, so what machine should be located at which location, which machine should be located at which location. Okay, so that is nothing but a layout, and that is comes under the flow design. So this particular pre-planning function of the PPC is concerned with the decision making with respect to methods of manufacturing, then which kinds of machine should be used, then what type of workflow required with respect to, one can say that availability of capacity, or the scope of product in the future. So according to all these concerns will be collected, and pre-planning will be done for that particular production. Okay. So this particular pre-planning is macro level planning. It's shortly describe the product. It shortly describe the project, and it just hitting the highlights of the project. Okay, it just hitting the highlights of the project. So to analyze this particular uh, to do this particular pre-planning activity, analysis will be done uh, for forecasting demand, then market analysis, then product design and development, then workflow, then process design, then plant layout. So this comes under the pre-planning category. This all comes under the pre-planning category. Everyone getting what is meant by pre-planning? Is there any question? Any problem? Any question related to pre-planning? Everybody getting what is meant by pre-planning? So in pre-planning, we are not going in detail. Okay. In pre-planning, we are just roughly plan for the project or the production. Okay, just outlining the plan. Just outlining the plan. These are our constraints. Okay, this is our capacity. These machines are available. Okay, we need to purchase this machine to start this new business or new product. Okay, so that is comes under the pre-plan. Okay, so it will just constrain the boundaries. Okay, it will provide the boundaries of a plan. Okay, and in that particular pre-planning, once you have done with the pre-planning, then the next phase comes, that is actual planning. Okay, so in this particular planning phase, the macro level planning will be done. Okay, macro level means what? One can say that if one worker comes in the company, what activity should be done by that particular worker after every 1 hour. So that is nothing but what? Macro level. We are planning for the particular worker. Okay. Then if you consider that if there is one machine, then how much production will be there for that particular machine in this particular time period. So that is the micro level planning for that particular machine. Okay. So this planning phase, that is after pre-planning, there is second phase of or the second category of functions of PPC, that is nothing but planning. Okay, so micro planning is you might expect that it is opposite of macro. Okay, so micro planning and it involves lot and lots of details and very intense schedule to get the work done. So so much detailed planning will be done in this particular phase. Minute to minute planning will be done in this particular phase, and decided what to do and what should be done in that particular time period. Okay, and how to carry out the activities. Okay, so these all the plannings comes under this particular phase. Then here it is mentioned that the planning for the resources, that is nothing but 4 M's. Okay, what are the 4 M's? Man, machine, material, and method. These are the 4 M's uh, always followed by the industry. And planning related to that. Planning the resources about 4 M's. Okay, so uh, first aim is nothing but material. Okay, what planning required related to the material. So why it is required to plan the material? Because if there is any shortage of material, then it will be interruption for the production. Okay, so availability of raw material, it is the requirement to start the production. Then uh, if you are procuring some of the parts from other industries, then purchasing of such a components should be available at a required time in a required quantity. That will ensure that that particular production will start and end, uh, or that particular operation will start at the correct time, and at this operation will be end at the correct time. Okay, to ensure that things, the material planning is required, so that we can say that it will result in uninterrupted production. Okay, finally, our goal or the objective is to uninterrupted production. So raw material planning is required. Then second year we can say that machines and equipments. So in that case, in the planning phase related to machinery and equipment analysis of available production facilities and equipments and their downtime, downtime we can say that, and their downtime will be calculated. So analysis will be done according to the facilities available in the industry, that particular firm or in that particular enterprise, and what is the downtime for that particular facility or that particular machine. Downtime is nothing but what, uh, if you it is the difference between the actual and design. Okay, that will be considered as a downtime. Okay. So and is there any policy to reduce that particular downtime? So all these considerations will be considered under the machine and equipment analysis. Okay, and that will be considered in a planning phase. Then next thing is we can say that the method. Okay, so analysis of selecting alternative method. Okay, there are number of alternatives available to produce that particular product. Which one is the best alternative to produce that particular product? That is nothing but selection of best methodology will be considered under this particular method analysis. Then next one is manpower. Next name is manpower. So in this, what skill sets are required for the worker to work on that particular location or on that particular workstation. So this will be considered. Then quantity of worker requirement to achieve the target. So these all the things will be considered under this particular planning resources. Okay. So planning resources will consist of 4 M's. 4M planning, that is nothing but material, machines, then method, then manpower. Okay. So in material, to avoid the interruption during the production, there should be sufficient availability of raw material, then components or tools required to produce that particular products. That is nothing but material analysis. Then machine and equipment in that, what will be the available capacity of that particular machines, required machines to produce the components. What is the downtime for producing that much component? Okay. Then what are the policies related to procuring new machines or purchasing new machines or eliminating old machines. Okay. So that will also consider under the machines and equipment. And method, considering the best alternative to produce that particular product. Okay. So that optimum use of resources and produce more number of components. Such a method should be selected. Then manpower, that is what is the minimum requirement of